People of color, long abused by white supremacy, must unite and support one another, especially in black communities, to secure full rights and privileges in the United States. United, we must stand. Today, I speak on a truth that history has whispered for centuries. People of color, long abused by white supremacy, are foolish not to unite. Because united, unity is not just moral, it's survival. It is power. It is the only way to claim the rights and privileges promised by this republic. See, the architects of division, white supremacy, is not chaotic. It is architecture. It's a system designed to keep power in the hands of the rich and white. It is a blueprint of division. Africans against Africans, Asians against Africans, Indians, both American and from India, against Africans, communities taught to believe that they are better than black people, even while worshiping gods who are still black. Why? Jealousy. Jealousy of the position Africa once held when people of color ruled the earth. Jealousy of civilizations that taught the world science, medicine, art, and governance. The original fear, let me be clear, let me say this now. I forget nothing. I may forgive for the moment, but there's always going to be a debt that needs to be paid, issues that have to be dealt with. My forefathers, the ancestors, are the reason why this country is standing and why I still stand. Do you realize how many people of color there are on this planet? Billions. If we unite, the game is over. White supremacy knows this. That is why it divides us through lies, myths, manufactured hierarchies. It rewards silence. It punishes solidarity and unity. It teaches communities to distance themselves from blackness because blackness is power, and power is what they fear the most. When division isn't enough, they erase. The whitewash history to make black brilliance invisible tells you that civilization began in Greece, ignoring African empires. And there were other empires all over the world. They claim Europeans invented bathing in the 1800s, ignoring that Africans introduced hygiene to Europe centuries earlier when the plague, the Black Plague, had them running from England, sleeping in the house with cows and dogs. The patent inventions, they call themselves theirs because they steal intellectual power and the products from black folks, and they make it as though they were the architects and the creators of the things that they patent. But they erase all of this because the truth dismantles the myth of superiority. If you ever get a chance, read the composite national speech by Frederick Douglass. He championed and fought for Asians way back in the 1800s or something. And he has a beautiful speech. But more than 150 years ago, Frederick Douglass stood in Boston and declared a radical truth. America's greatness depends on embracing all races. I know of no rights of race superior to the rights of humanity. And that's what we have to think. We talk about civil rights. Ain't nothing civil rights. How can you worry about civil rights when you don't have human rights? He called for a composite nation where Chinese, Africans, Europeans, all people share equal rights. He warned that isolation breeds ignorance, while contact breeds progress. And he was right. The strength of this republic lies not in exclusion, but in inclusion. But I'm going to tell you a fact that I understand better than a lot of people may, is that black men don't go running to white women or Chinese women or anything like that. They don't have to. And because of that, there are a lot of men of all races that get angry. We don't have to manhandle and do anything to these women to get them. It's your lies have pushed them even more so to want to know more about us. Douglass believed diversity was America's destiny, but white supremacy feared that destiny. After emancipation, when black people began to rise, the system adapted. It opened up immigration from Asia, not to promote equality, but to create a buffer class. Asian immigrants were positioned as the model minority, given loans to open businesses in black neighborhoods, while black entrepreneurs were denied those same opportunities. Wealth was siphoned out of the black community, and the myth was born. Look at them. They made it. Why can't you? This was not misunderstanding. This was design. And here's the warning. White supremacy doesn't love anyone but itself. It uses you, then discards you. And black folks, why can't you see that? Chinese people, why can't you see that? History proves that Chinese laborers were invited to build railroads, then massacred and excluded for decades. Japanese Americans were citizens yet thrown into internment camps, and they all got paid. Indigenous children were caged in residential schools. Immigrants today are still put in cages. The system shows no mercy, and those who help uphold it should not expect mercy when it turns on them. The call for solidarity. So what do? We tell the truth. We reject the lies, dismantle the myth. Build solidarity, not just in words, but in action. Hire black workers, invest in black neighborhoods, challenge anti-blackness in your own family, because that's where the hatred starts. Because dismantling white supremacy is not a black fight alone. It is a human fight, and it starts with unity. White supremacy is not just a relic of the past. It is a living system. It thrives on division, on ignorance, on fear. But the truth is a weapon too. And today we wield it. We name the architects. We expose the design. We demand accountability, not just from white America, but from every community that has benefited from anti-black policies while claiming innocence. Because solidarity is built on truth, and the truth is the first step toward justice. And every community understands that civil rights was just their pathway. It was built for us, but it was others' pathway to the middle class. Let me tell you, we know all these things that I'm telling you, but we act like we don't know. And maybe that's part of the master plan.